I've trained the Min Min Amiibo, and there's a lot of crazy crap. Unlike normal Amiibo, Min Min doesn't follow a typical moveset structure. As a result, the developers hacked this Amiibo together and accidentally gave her a lot of bad habits. For Min Min, there's 3 issues you gotta know about, but if you haven't seen our Expert Amiibo guide video, you'll need to see that one first. This video assumes you have the info in that guide. After quickly explaining those 3 issues, we'll cover how to train the Min Min Amiibo. Min Min has a minor SD problem. See, Amiibo don't actually know where their hitboxes are. The developers give the AI a functional hitbox area that the Amiibo uses to plan its attacks. If the opponent is in that area, then the Amiibo uses the move that covers that area. The functional hitbox's area is typically identical to the real hitbox, so players will think the Amiibo knows where its hitboxes are. Min Min has faulty functional hitbox areas for her arms attacks. There's no lag time taken into account, so big hitboxes with long windups typically become a problem. Well, when she's off stage and falling, Min Min will sometimes try to hit you with forward air if you're on stage, instead of just recovering. Then the end lag from forward air keeps her from using up special to recover, and then she dies. The best fix for this is simply not using a lot of forward air in training. The Amiibo will still do it occasionally, but it's not very common. Most people who are new to training an Amiibo have the same problem. Their Amiibo jumps way too much. This is because the trainer jumps a lot in training, or because they force the Amiibo to jump by forcing it off stage. You're going to have this problem with Min Min a lot. I've trained 4 Min Min Amiibo all very different ways, and each of them had this problem starting from level 1. Min Min is programmed to use forward and back air whether you train her to or not, so the Amiibo will end up jumping to use them, which raises its jump value. I said in the Expert Amiibo guide that the Amiibo learns from your actions, but it'll also learn from its own actions, which creates this problem. As far as my testing indicates, there's not really a concrete way to solve the problem of jumpiness. The level 50 Min Min AI is pretty peculiar and will jump anyway, but you can minimize its jumping by simply never ever jumping yourself. We'll cover this more in the actual training segment. The developers broke their Amiibo does what you do rule and programmed Min Min to use everything in her moveset to some degree, including 3 bad habits. Those bad habits are down air, neutral air, and up special. Min Min has a stall then fall down air. That's bad. Every Amiibo who has one, whether they be Bowser or Sheik, really likes to spam down airs. Once they learn to use it, they'll never unlearn it. It can get so ingrained into them that they'll just spam down airs up to 10 times in a row, whether it connects with the opponent or not. Your best option is only a partial solution. Never use down air when training Min Min. And ditto with neutral air. She occasionally has bursts of Nair spam, even at level 1, but it'll be much worse if you use neutral air. It's funny, actually. Nair isn't even a bad move, it's just not useful most of the time. This one's weird, and less common, but it does present a problem. Min Min will use her up special as an attack randomly, and sometimes she just uses it when there's no reason to. I think this behavior is caused by the fact that the AI will attempt to hook to the ledge with up special when recovering, and it learns from its own behavior. Like the other 2, there's really not a great solution to this, but there is a partial one. Don't use up special when training. There's a lot of other shenanigans and research that Min Min has, including some short combos, but those will be in a post at amiibodoctor.com for the sake of time. If you're interested in a Raid Boss Min Min Amiibo, that'll also be in its own Raid Boss video down the line, so you should subscribe to see it when it comes out. Training this Amiibo is like trying to take a fistful of ramen. You'll control most of it, but there's always going to be a few things that slip through. Min Min will use every part of her kit whether you train her to or not. I thoroughly tested this theory by training 4 Min Min Amiibo with very different corner case methods. The first Min Min was taught only to walk and use forward tilt up to level 50. I was also testing to see if Min Min would use her right arm if she was only taught to use her left arm. The second Min Min I actually didn't even train. I just crouched and mashed down special for 20 minutes before leveling up to 50 to test the down special AI. The third one I trained intuitively, but didn't let it land an attack on me, and the fourth one I focused on smash attacks first, then some jabs later, and let it land an attack on me. Now, it matters far more how you train your Amiibo than what you train your Amiibo. Min Min's got some strats that maximize her potential, but you've got to be super technical about it. It's basically guaranteed that Min Min is going to develop bad habits if she's allowed to learn for too long. So screw it. We're capping her off at level 25, and we're going to be micromanaging her up until that point. Starting from level 1, you'll want to use 3 stock Omega stage matches when training Min Min, and then turn her learning off after she hits level 25. Typically, it doesn't matter whether you train an Amiibo on Battlefield, Omega stages, Smashville, as long as it's a relatively normal stage. For Min Min, it actually does matter. We need the flat wideness of Omega stages so that her arms attacks can connect. Then, after that, we're going to level her up to 50 with learning still off. First off, like we already covered, never use down air or neutral air. In fact, don't use any aerials, unless you're training on a specific custom stage, which we'll cover in a part 2 sequel to this video. Min Min has to jump to use aerials, and jumping is the enemy here. She'll end up using them no matter how you train her, so don't worry about messing her up. Second, don't train Min Min on anything besides Omega stages. While training, you should only ever slowly walk or trot when moving. Most of your training should consist of you pretending to be a Team Fortress 2 sentry and just shooting out attacks. Third, you gotta play patty cake with your Amiibo. You hit them a few times, then sit there and let her hit you a few times. If the Amiibo doesn't learn that it can land a hit, it won't try to land a hit, and then it'll end up a sniveling coward. Min Min is unique as an Amiibo in that distance is such an important part of her character. As a result, instead of training level by level, we're going to be training by distance to the opponent, in this case, you. We have 3 prongs of this: distance training, point blank training, and then KOing. Mii Gunner is an Amiibo who is great at a distance because of missile spam, but the best Mii Gunners are also great up close. I'm taking the same training philosophy with Min Min. When you're training, keep hitting her with 1-2 punches. Most of the time, they should be smash attacks, but uncharged smash attacks. Walk very slowly when you need to. Just tilt the stick far enough that the tilt attacks and smash attacks will still connect. It helps if you get some rhythm to it. You've got 2 moves for point blank training: throws and jab. If she's at absolute point blank, use jab and go for the infinite jab until you can't hit her anymore. Then use the final hit. If she's a bit farther, use grab and back or up throw, but only pick one. If you use up smash, then use up throw as well. If not, use back throw. Personally, I prefer back throw. Min Min gains a damage and knockback boost for 20 seconds on her left arm after throwing an opponent. This right here is the game maker for Min Min. If she can land a throw, she instantly gets much better at KOing. The only down special switching you're going to be doing is at high percents. It appears that the right arm's hand is mostly random, unless the Amiibo decides to edgeguard with Ram, which is a built-in behavior. So you're going to stick with Megawatt and use Megawatt for most of your KOs. The Amiibo will decide Ram on its own. Rarely, you should KO with Up Smash. Up Smash is your third point-blank option, and it reaches through platforms, so you will want to train it. The problem is, the Amiibo really likes Up Smash, so you shouldn't actually do a lot of Up Smash training. I only sprinkled in Up Smash training from levels 20 to 25, and she turned out exactly right. After doing these things up to about level 25, turn learning off, start up several very long battles so it can level up to 50, and then go touch grass. This will keep the training data the same, but the underlying CPU AI will expand all its options. Then you're going to put your Amiibo against other Amiibo and see its flaws. Does it use too much up smash? Probably. Does it use too much nair and dare anyway? Yeah, probably. There'll be a few flaws, but if it's reminiscent of how you would expect a Min Min to play, that's probably pretty good. Just make sure it's using smash attacks more than tilts. Once you're done, save the Amiibo, and you're going to turn learning back on and try to correct some of the issues in one 3-stock match. In that match, just use some lightly charged smash attacks, a few more grabs, and some edge guards. As always, let it hit you a bit as well. If it uses too much down air or neutral air in that match, quit before the match ends and start over so the Amiibo doesn't develop that habit further. Truthfully, there's a vast amount of research and training strategy that I wasn't able to cover in this video for the sake of time. There will absolutely be a part 2 and Min Min Raid Boss video down the line to show this research, so again, you should subscribe to see it when it comes out. We've also got videos on the Steve, Pyra, Mythra, Sephiroth, and Kazuya Amiibo, either released or coming out soon.